Reinheitskabutz!
Okay, Greggy, what are we making today?
We are making what I call the City of Gold Pale Ale.
Ooh.
It's a smash El Dorado brew. We're going to use a recipe that I know really well and have done recently because of the recent transition from the old brewery to here. So by doing one that I know well, today we're going to go, okay, there's nothing wrong with the water here. That's not changing the flavors of the beer at all. Because water can make a big difference depending on the minerals that are in it.
Okay.
And like, I'll drink from your tap. It's delicious. I drank from the tap in Langley. It was delicious, right? But there can still be a different mineral contents of the water that can affect the flavor of the beer.
Okay.
So this is the one where it's like, we know all the ingredients that we're putting in here. I know exactly what it's supposed to taste like. So
this is your control test.
That's it. This is the control.
Okay, so step one, we gotta mill a bunch of this grain.
Well, step one's kind of already half done, is we've got the water up to temp for mashing.
Okay.
I've turned it off now because it's way above 155.
Okay.
Which is what I wanted, and now
we're going for mash temp of 155.
No, strike temp of 155.
Strike temp of 155. That's right. We lose some temperature.
Remember, the grain is, it's what, 20 degrees out. The grain is sitting at 20 degrees. I know I keep jumping between Celsius and Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
But there's going to be a differential. That's going to cool it off when it goes in there.
Got it.
So if we start at 155, we should be hitting our mash temp of 150.
Okay.
Then we need 25 pounds of Pilsner Malts.
Okay, so 50 pounds. So you just know from experience that this is 10 pounds.
Yeah, I've measured that out.
Okay.
So like, what was the top of this, right?
Yeah.
Like leveled right off. And so that way I can do it quicker than having to measure every time. This guy going. Yep. You can hear it dropping.
The Lego is the key.
And there it goes, crushing away. Oh, we're fucking bang on, perfect. It's like I knew what I was doing. Careful. Yeah, that's better.
Try to turn the tip.
Yeah. Okay, give me a second. This area, nothing's clumping together.
Okay, so we had a strike temp of 155.
Yep.
The plan was for our mash temp to be what?
150.
150. I think you nailed it. The brew tax. You want to make the brew, then you gotta pay the tax. The brew
Good
tax.
Lord.
The brew tax. And whether you guys saw that or not, I really hope we got that. Because as it turns out, the question that was posed was, is the heat the catalyst to get the barley to release the sugars? And as it turns out, the answer is no. It just speeds up the process, or kind of triggers the process. The barley itself has everything it needs.
The temperature of the water does have something to do with it, but the barley has the enzyme, and enzymes are catalysts for reactions. So when you use the word catalyst, science boy here goes, well, the water's not the catalyst, the enzyme's the fucking catalyst. The calcium is the coenzyme, if you want to get really scientific about it.
Is it just me, or is every time he says enzyme, I think of that scene in Jurassic Park where Dr. Wu was explaining how they made dinosaurs? It's all I can think about.
Nano-DNA! Yeah, well, you know.
Brewing in my backyard. Now, does the temperature not affect that specific gravity?
It does, but when you have that little amount on there, it cools off pretty quick.
Listen.
That's like 1.034. Close to 1.035. So here's an interesting thing. You were chirping me about the temperature on this and it not cooling off quick enough, because I said it would. And
Sounds right.
I don't want to admit it, but you told me so.
Ah.
So I took a spoonful of wort at the same time and let it sit there for a bit, and I'm testing it now.
Yeah.
I'm checking it now when it's cooled off more.
Yeah.
And we are almost like 1.040.
So,
So that temp, that just cooling it off is allowing a more accurate reading.
Oh.
Yeah. So, I don't want to say you told me so, but you fucking told me so. I don't know. You want to see it?
Oh, brew, 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 brew. A brew, a brew, a brew, a brew, a brew. Brew, brew, brew.
Roo, 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 roo. Okay. The Bavarian Purity Law of 1516. In Germany, they made the Bavarian Purity Law in 1516 that beer is only made with barley, hops, water, and yeast. Before that, and anywhere else in the world that was making beer, even at that time, was allowed to add other things like, I don't know, other herbs, other flavoring ingredients and stuff. But, the crazy Germans decided that they needed a purity law because they like purity.
Wow.
But that's part of what it was, is that the hops will isomerize, which creates the bitterness. And I'm not explaining isomerization to you.
That was going to be the next question. I summarize it as he knows what it means. That was well done. I'm fucking proud of myself on that one.
Okay, I think we're good. Here you go. Are you ready? In it goes. Now I gotta stir. She goes.
Is it going to boil over?
It'll bubble up.
It's looking good. Okay, so these are yeast.
This is yeast.
Yeah.
It's dried, so like it's kind of like dormant.
Yeah.
Like it's just dormant, and it's been sitting in the fridge. And then all we're doing here is just getting it wet, rehydrating it. That's going to bring it back to life.
Okay.
And then that's what we're going to toss into
Love it.
each of the beers.
Love it.
1 packet per 5 gallons.
Okay. There's some serious clumps in there, dude.
Yep. That's what it
It
does.
didn't do that last time.
No?
I don't think so. Not like this. Maybe I didn't.
Well, there's a lot of biology happening there. It's not exactly an exact science.
It kind of is an exact science. You're the scientist.
This is bucket chemistry, man. And that's my favorite fucking kind of chemistry.
I mean, it is in a bucket.
Also gonna crank the 80s because Eddie Money's gonna take me home tonight.
Okay, so this is sanitizing.
Yep.
You've explained the agitation to me before. What's the purpose of the agitation? Why are you shaking it so much while it goes in?
The initial phases of fermentation, you actually want some oxygen in there because the yeast will do aerobic metabolism versus anaerobic metabolism.
Okay.
So aerobic metabolism means is that in the presence of oxygen, the yeast will grow quicker. So in the first phase, we want the yeast to grow, so we have lots of yeast in there for fermentation. But then when the oxygen's depleted, it switches to anaerobic metabolism. So that's when it's creating the alcohol.
Okay,
Question.
dude,
I think you should leave it until I've checked it.
that I don't like that you don't trust my measuring prowess. You know what? It might be close to 4 or 5.
Thank you.
Now that it's settled.
Yeah. Done. These little jars are the perfect thing for this, by the way.
Yeah. Next thing I gotta ask for is like stuff like this where we're not gonna be talking. We want music in the background and just playing the video.
Yeah.
I need a nice little guitar riff that's gonna be proprietary.
Okay. We can do
Like
that.
I'm sure you've got something recorded that I can just, you can send me a WAV file that I can just use as the kind of transition music.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.